Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Our story is The Last Bell in School.
The Last Bell. It was an ordinary autumn evening at Elmwood High, with fallen leaves skittering across the empty parking lot. Most students had gone home, save for a small group of misfits staying late for detention. They sat in silence, their whispers occasionally drowned out by the creaks of the old building settling. "Did you hear about the janitor?" whispered Jamie, the troublemaker of the group. "Number what about him?" asked Mia, rolling her eyes. "They say he disappeared in the boiler room 20 years ago, but people still hear his keys jangling at night." "Yeah, right," scoffed Alex, the skeptic. As if on cue, the overhead lights flickered, drawing a collective shiver from the students. Mr. Grayson, the teacher overseeing detention, glanced up from his papers. "Settle down, it's just the wiring." But something felt off. The school, normally filled with noise, seemed unnaturally quiet. Too quiet. Suddenly, the sound of a bell rang out. But it wasn't the usual chime. This one was sharp, almost metallic, like nails dragging across a chalkboard. Weird. "The last bell rang hours ago," muttered Mia. Grayson frowned. "Stay here. I'll check the office." As he left, the classroom door swung shut with a heavy thud. Alex jumped up to reopen it, but no matter how hard he tugged, it wouldn't budge. "What's going on?" asked Jamie, panic creeping into his voice. The lights flickered again, and this time they didn't come back. A deep, suffocating darkness filled the room, broken only by the faint glow of their phones. "Let's get out of here," said Mia, her voice trembling. The group moved as one, using their phone flashlights to navigate the halls. The air felt colder, and the once familiar corridors stretched endlessly, as though the school itself were shifting. "Where's the office?" Alex asked, his voice echoing eerily. It's supposed to be right here," Jamie stammered, pointing to a blank wall. As they turned, a faint jingling sound echoed through the hall. "Keys," Mia whispered. They froze, their breath hitching. From the shadows emerged a figure, a gaunt, twisted version of the janitor. His face was pale, his eyes hollow, and his uniform was stained with something dark and wet. He dragged a set of rusted keys behind him, each jangle like a death knell. "Why are you still here?" he rasped, his voice a guttural growl. Without waiting for an answer, he lunged. Screams filled the halls as the group ran, the janitor's heavy footsteps pounding behind them. They darted into the gymnasium, slamming the door shut. "Help! Somebody help us!" Mia yelled, her voice breaking. The lights in the gym flickered to life, revealing a horrifying sight. The bleachers were covered in old, faded, missing posters of students and staff. Among them, Mr. Grayson's face stared back. "Guys," Jamie whispered, pointing to the posters. "That's him, the janitor." Before they could process it, the gym doors creaked open and the janitor stepped inside. His keys began to spin in a circle, creating a vortex of shadows that sucked all light from the room. One by one, the students were pulled into the darkness, their screams fading into silence. The next morning, the school was eerily calm. Teachers and students went about their day as if nothing had happened. Only the faint sound of jangling keys in the halls hinted at the horrors of the night before. And in detention that afternoon, a new group of students whispered about the janitor who disappeared 20 years ago. They didn't know they'd be next.